Hey guys, welcome back. In this episode, we're going to start the restoration process on this International Harvester Cub Lo-Boy. If you're not familiar with these tractors, these were popular for this particular series, the 154. Started about 1969, went through the 70s with some later iterations to this model, the 185, 184. I think every golf course in America had one of these to cut grass with. There are a variety of accessories that you could get with them, like plows, and they even had 3-point hitches available. You get a hold of one of these and you're trying to find out information about it. This data plate right here should have your serial number on it, and there's a great book that about these tractors that has the data in it, where you can take the serial number, find out the year. I think you can probably also find it online easily. So as you can see, there's an engine over there, and there's one right here. Just want to bring something up here. See this a lot in these tractors. People get them. They think they're overheating, especially because they top off the radiator and it pukes a little out. So they're looking for the thermostat to make sure that it's opening. So you might think if I take this off, there's going to be a thermostat underneath here. Well, there's not. There's not supposed to be a thermostat. These C60s, they use what's called a thermosiphon. No thermostat, no water pump. It's just purely, like it says, it's a thermosiphon. So water gets hot, it wants to come up, and it draws in the cooled water from the bottom it just kind of, it's like a siphon. It's essentially, it gets hot, it's not under pressure, there should be no pressure, and that's why if you top these off, why you're puking a little antifreeze, because these things will, if you get it too full, they're gonna purge off a little bit that they need for that expansion. So if you fill this up and it pukes a little bit on the ground, that's normal. You just got too much in it. No thermostat. And you really can't even put a temperature gauge on these. They got a spot down here on the bottom of this pipe right here where you could like thread in a temperature sensor, but it would be pointless because you're not going to get a temperature reading on your engine, because that's water coming in and it's drastically cooler than say any point of the engine and up. You can take a thermal gun and just kind of put it along these places, and when I've had this thing running for a bit, typically what I would see is around here, 140 to 190 going in here. Down here you put thermal gun on this and it would be about 90 degrees. So it actually cools quite well. Now, as you've seen, this engine actually runs quite well. Starts right up. Can sit for months. Starts right up. This one was originally in the parts tractor that I bought. The guy warned me that it didn't run. Don't expect it to run. When they got this engine, half the valves were seized. The head had a big crack in it. It basically frozen with water in it and having enough antifreeze. Spent a few hours getting the valves freed up. I put the cracked head back on just to see if it would start, and it fired right up. So I ordered this new head. and kind of put this tractor together so I could use it, test it. Problem is, it runs great, but it barely had enough power to pull itself, let alone try to run a mower deck. It cut a little bit of grass, but man, it had to be thin, and the deck couldn't be too low. It just had some issues. I put a little bit of oil in each cylinder here. Obviously, we've got the throttle open as wide as it'll go. we'll just do a compression check to see how much this has. This is a 1 liter 4-cylinder engine. I think it's like 7-to-1 compression, 7.5-to-1 compression ratio. So we should be able to get, of course this is if it was new, about 120 psi. Let's see what we get out of each one of these cylinders and see if that explains maybe why we're a little low in power on this thing. Here's number 1. Disconnect the cord. So we're at 80 on number 1. On number 2. $65 on number 3. $70 on number 4. Take a look to see how it looks under here. These are the plugs. It's number 1. You can see it's pretty sooty. Number 2, not quite as bad. Number 3, pretty sooty. Number 4, pretty sooty. Here's the fuel filter. Probably reuse that. Here's what we have. So look how much carbon is on 1. 2 actually is quite clean. And 3 and 4 pretty carboned up. The valves just. Make sure if you are interested in this video and want to see more of it, give me a like or comment. Whether I continue to record this process, it's going to be kind of on the popularity of this video, if people are interested or not. Trying to produce video for something that you're working on like this, it makes it 10 times harder. So if people are interested, I absolutely have no problem in the world doing it. But if nobody really cares, it's just a lot easier for me not to worry about trying to film it and just work on it. So let me know. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.